Hello everybody, hope you're all safe and well. Hope you all had a nice Halloween, nice and safe. Okay, as you can see on the workbench, I've got the AJ6 oil filter housing here. Just got a loop around the cooler pipes. A couple of weeks ago I was trying to do an oil filter change. Couldn't get the filter off and I didn't want to use the old screwdriver trick that we've all used in the past. So I decided to take the entire filter housing off. It's quite easy, it's just held in by these 10mm headed bolts. When I did take it off, I suppose I did take a mental note that there weren't any gaskets, any of the old traditional paper gaskets. And then I noticed that this filter housing, it's a two-part housing. The actual filter is on this section and this comes off. And there wasn't a gasket between the oil cooler section, as you can see, that's the oil cooler there, and that section. There was nothing. There was just some sort of sealant that must have been applied in the past, maybe by a previous owner, maybe from factory, maybe from when it was serviced at a Jaguar dealer, but there weren't any of the traditional gaskets. Now this is a gasket that I've managed to get off eBay. This gasket goes between, as you can see, goes between there and the engine block. But as I say, this originally, when I took it off, didn't have one. And there's also a paper gasket that I've actually fitted now, a paper gasket between here and the oil filter housing. And interestingly, I've got another 4-litre AJ6 engine there. That's where the oil filter housing is. And when I took that off, I noticed that there weren't any gaskets either. So obviously in the past, somewhere in time forgotten, maybe there was some sort of gasket sealant that was applied because you couldn't get the gaskets, or I don't know, or maybe some mechanic somewhere along the line just couldn't get them. But as I say, whatever type of gasket sealant they used back in the day was fantastic, because I've never had any leaks from this when it was on the car. And the engine that I've just been pointing out over there, yeah, the engine was covered in oil and crud, but it didn't seem to have a massive amount of oil coming out the filter housing. So I don't know what type of gasket sealant they used. And that's what I'm talking about today. I've tried to seal this with a cheap gasket sealant that I bought from a local parts dealer. And then I've tried a really expensive Loctite gasket sealant, which cost about 26 quid, that I got off the internet, and that wouldn't seal the thing. So now I'm hoping, now that I've got the proper paper gaskets, that I'll have better luck. I'll keep you informed. Okay, that's all. Stay safe and well.